Hey everyone, welcome back to Stoic Saga, where we dive deep into the timeless lessons of Stoicism to help you live a more focused, fulfilling, and successful life. In today's episode, we're tackling something that's crucial to all of us, the secret of success. We all want to know how to achieve our goals, live with purpose, and face life's challenges with resilience, and the Stoics have a lot to teach us on this front. In this episode, we'll explore 10 powerful Stoic lessons that can transform the way you approach life. From the power of persistence and mental focus to mastering self-belief and embracing your individuality, these lessons will give you practical insights into how to unlock your inner strength and achieve true success. Not just in external achievements, but in mastering your mind and actions. If you find this episode helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with friends and family who could benefit from these timeless teachings. Let's dive in and discover what the Stoics can teach us about the true path to success. Lesson 1. The secret of success. The secret to success doesn't lie in external achievements like wealth, fame, or power. Instead, it begins with mastering your inner self and aligning your actions with your values and purpose. For the Stoics, success was rooted in living virtuously, maintaining emotional balance, and staying true to your principles, no matter the obstacles you face. Epictetus famously said, "No man is free who is not master of himself," emphasizing that true success starts from within. In today's world, many people chase external goals, money, social status, or recognition, believing that these accomplishments will bring them lasting happiness and fulfillment. But what often happens is that even when those goals are reached, the sense of satisfaction fades quickly. They may find themselves setting new goals, constantly seeking the next achievement, yet never feeling truly content. This is because their sense of success is tied to things beyond their control, which can lead to a life of ongoing dissatisfaction. The Stoics teach us that real success comes from developing inner strength. Instead of relying on external factors that are fleeting and unpredictable, we should focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and responses to the challenges we face. One of the core Stoic principles is ataraxia, which refers to an inner calm that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let's consider an example of someone who has reached what society would call success. They might be wealthy, have a prestigious job, or be well known in their field. But despite their outward success, they may still feel anxious, stressed, or unfulfilled. Why? Because their sense of success is fragile. It depends on things they cannot control. If they lose their job, if their reputation is harmed, or if their wealth is lost, they may feel as though everything they've worked for has disappeared. This is the danger of placing success in external achievements. They are temporary, and any disruption can leave a person feeling lost. In contrast, the Stoic approach to success is about mastering oneself. It's about developing qualities like resilience, patience, and wisdom, traits that cannot be taken away by external circumstances. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." This teaching reminds us that true wealth comes from contentment, not from the accumulation of more things. When you can find satisfaction within yourself, regardless of what you have or don't have, you have already succeeded. One powerful Stoic principle related to success is the idea that obstacles are opportunities in disguise. Instead of viewing challenges as roadblocks, the Stoics taught us to see them as essential parts of the journey. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the challenges you face aren't hindrances, they are the very things that help you grow. Every setback, every obstacle provides a chance for self-improvement. Success, therefore, isn't about avoiding challenges, but about how you rise to meet them. Take a moment to think about your own life. Have you encountered challenges recently? How did you view them? Did they feel like setbacks, or did you see them as opportunities to grow stronger? The Stoic mindset encourages us to embrace challenges, recognizing that they are an inevitable part of life. This shift in perspective allows us to handle adversity with grace and to view each obstacle as a stepping stone toward becoming the person we are meant to be. Another key aspect of Stoic success is recognizing the value of time. Seneca wrote extensively about how precious our time is, reminding us that life is fleeting and that we must use our time wisely. He said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." For the Stoics, success wasn't measured by how much we accumulate or achieve in life, but by how well we use the time we are given. Are you spending your time on things that truly matter? Are you focusing on personal growth, building meaningful relationships, and living in alignment with your values? Time is one of our most valuable resources, yet many people squander it on things that don't bring lasting fulfillment, whether that's chasing after material possessions, getting lost in distractions, or constantly worrying about the future. The Stoics encourage us to live with purpose and intention, to make the most of every moment. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This is a call to action. Stop waiting for the right moment or the perfect circumstances to pursue your goals. Start now. Success comes from the consistent effort you put in daily, not from some distant future event. In practical terms, the secret to success is about showing up each day with discipline and focus. It's about committing to your values and making small, consistent steps toward your goals, rather than being distracted by the pursuit of external rewards. Focus on what's within your control, your actions, your mindset, and your attitude toward life's challenges. When you master these, you unlock the true secret to success. In conclusion, the Stoic secret to success is not about achieving wealth, fame, or external recognition. It's about mastering your inner self, aligning your actions with your values, and living with a sense of purpose. When you focus on developing inner strength and resilience, you will find that success comes not from the outside, but from within. As Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Lesson 2. The individual. The second key to success, as outlined in Stoicism, is understanding the power and importance of the individual. This lesson teaches us that each person has unique strengths, talents, and a purpose that is distinctively their own. The Stoics believed that true success comes not from conforming to societal expectations or trying to be someone you're not, but from embracing your individuality and living authentically. Epictetus emphasized this when he said, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." This means that before you can achieve true success, you must first understand who you are at your core, what drives you, what your values are, and what strengths you bring to the table. In a world that often encourages us to follow trends, conform to groupthink, or chase after external validation, the Stoics remind us to remain true to ourselves. One of the greatest barriers to success is the fear of standing out or being different. Many people suppress their individuality in order to fit in with others, to avoid conflict, or to gain approval. But this comes at a cost. When you live according to the expectations of others, you lose touch with your own potential. The Stoics believed that each of us has a role to play in the world, and it is our duty to fulfill that role to the best of our abilities. This is why Marcus Aurelius urged, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, stop trying to live up to other people's expectations and focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Imagine you're working in a job that doesn't align with your values or passions. While you might be successful in terms of salary or position, you feel unfulfilled because you're not tapping into your true potential. This disconnect between who you are and what you do can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction and burnout. On the other hand, when you embrace your individuality, your unique talents, interests, and values, you begin to find a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment in your work and life. For the Stoics, success wasn't about following a predetermined path or meeting society's standards. It was about aligning your actions with your true self. Seneca said, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." This reflects the idea that when you know who you are and live authentically, you become unstoppable. No amount of external pressure or criticism can shake you, because your success is rooted in your own values, not in the opinions of others. To achieve this, self-reflection is key. Take time to reflect on who you are and what matters to you. Ask yourself questions like, what are my strengths? What do I value most in life? Am I living in a way that reflects my true self? These questions help you gain clarity on your individual purpose and guide you toward actions that align with your core values. Another important aspect of this lesson is the idea that success looks different for everyone. One person's path to success might involve building a business, while another's might involve nurturing meaningful relationships or pursuing artistic expression. There is no one-size-fits-all definition of success, and the Stoics encourage us to define success on our own terms. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This means that freedom, and by extension success, comes from mastering your own mind and living according to your own values, not from meeting someone else's standards. In relationships, embracing your individuality can also lead to deeper connections. When you are authentic and true to yourself, you attract people who appreciate you for who you really are. On the other hand, if you constantly try to mold yourself to fit others' expectations, you may find yourself surrounded by people who don't truly understand or appreciate you. Authenticity breeds connection, and the Stoics understood that being genuine is the foundation for meaningful relationships and long-term success. Practically, this means that in both your personal and professional life, you should focus on actions and goals that resonate with your core identity. Instead of pursuing success based on external expectations, ask yourself, does this align with who I am? Am I doing this for me, or because it's what others expect of me? By consistently aligning your actions with your true self, you will build a life that feels purposeful and fulfilling. One way to start this process is by practicing daily reflection. At the end of each day, ask yourself if you lived in alignment with your values and true self. Did you make decisions that reflect who you are, or did you make choices based on fear of judgment or desire for approval? By engaging in this kind of reflection, you'll start to recognize patterns in your behavior and make adjustments that bring you closer to your authentic self. In conclusion, Lesson 2 is about embracing your individuality and living authentically. The Stoics remind us that true success isn't about conforming to societal standards, but about aligning your actions with your values and strengths. When you know who you are and live accordingly, you become unstoppable. Your success will be rooted in something unshakable, your true self. As Seneca said, the greatest wealth is to live content with little. This contentment comes from knowing and accepting who you are and living in alignment with your purpose. Lesson 3: Spiritedness. The third lesson in unlocking the secret to success is all about spiritedness. In Stoicism, spiritedness refers to the energy and drive that propel us forward in life, even when the odds are stacked against us. It's the inner fire that keeps us going, the determination that fuels our actions, and the resilience that allows us to rise after every fall. Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Spiritedness is what gives us the strength to pursue what we've decided is worth striving for. In the modern world, spiritedness can be seen as that drive or motivation to take action, even when things get tough. It's not just about enthusiasm. It's a deep, inner resolve that helps you stay committed to your goals, no matter the challenges. Think about people who have overcome incredible odds, those who rise after failures, those who persist despite obstacles, and those who remain steadfast in their pursuit of a dream. Spiritedness is what fuels that persistence. For the Stoics, spiritedness was about combining emotional resilience with a strong sense of purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the essence of spiritedness, understanding that, while you can't control external circumstances, you can always control how you respond to them. Spiritedness is the force that keeps you moving forward, even when life throws unexpected challenges your way. Consider a time in your life when you were faced with a difficult situation. Maybe you experienced a setback at work, dealt with a personal loss, or struggled with self-doubt. Spiritedness is what kept you going during those moments. It's the voice inside that tells you to keep trying, to get up after you fall, and to stay committed to your goals. This inner fire doesn't burn out easily. In fact, it often grows stronger in the face of adversity. The Stoics believed that spiritedness wasn't something you either had or didn't have. It was a trait you could cultivate through practice and discipline. One way to build spiritedness is by setting small, achievable goals that allow you to experience progress regularly. When you achieve these smaller goals, your confidence grows, and you start to build momentum toward larger accomplishments. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." This means that the challenges you face in life, rather than weakening your resolve, can actually help you build the mental toughness and spiritedness needed for long-term success. In addition to cultivating spiritedness through practice, the Stoics also taught that this inner strength comes from having a clear sense of purpose. When you know what you're working toward and why it matters, it becomes easier to stay motivated. Without a strong sense of purpose, even the most spirited person can lose direction. But when you're clear about your goals and values, spiritedness becomes the fuel that keeps you on track, even when the road gets rough. Let's take an example. Think about an athlete training for a major competition. Day after day, they wake up early, push their body to the limit, and make sacrifices in their personal life to stay focused on their goal. What drives them to keep going, even when they're exhausted or faced with setbacks? It's spiritedness, a combination of discipline, passion, and resilience. This same drive can be applied to any area of life, whether you're pursuing a career goal, building a business, or striving to improve your personal life. Spiritedness also involves the ability to bounce back from failure. The Stoics taught that failure is a natural part of the journey towards success, and that setbacks should be viewed as opportunities for growth. Epictetus said, "We should always be asking ourselves, is this something that is or is not in my control?" When you understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but simply a part of the process, you become more resilient. Spiritedness helps you rise from failure stronger, more determined, and better equipped to handle the next challenge. In relationships, spiritedness can manifest as the ability to maintain emotional resilience during conflicts or challenges. Whether it's dealing with disagreements in a romantic partnership or navigating difficult family dynamics, spiritedness helps you stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. Instead of giving up when things get tough, spiritedness encourages you to work through issues with patience, determination, and a willingness to grow. In practical terms, you can cultivate spiritedness by embracing challenges rather than avoiding them. When faced with adversity, remind yourself that these moments are opportunities to build your inner strength. Take small steps toward your goals, even when the path feels difficult, and celebrate the progress you make along the way. By focusing on what's within your control, your actions, your mindset, and your response to challenges, you can keep the flame of spiritedness alive. It's also important to surround yourself with people who inspire and motivate you. Spiritedness is contagious. When you spend time with others who are passionate, driven, and resilient, their energy will inspire you to keep pushing forward. Conversely, negative influences can drain your spiritedness, so be mindful of the company you keep. In conclusion, Lesson 3. Spiritedness teaches us that success requires more than just talent or luck. It requires the inner fire that keeps us moving forward, even in the face of challenges. The Stoics remind us that this spiritedness can be cultivated through discipline, resilience, and a clear sense of purpose. By embracing challenges, staying committed to your goals, and building mental toughness, you can develop the spiritedness needed to achieve true, lasting success. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The obstacle is the way." Lesson 4. Latent Powers. The fourth lesson in unlocking the secret to success focuses on recognizing and tapping into your latent powers, the hidden strengths and potential that lie dormant within each of us. The Stoics believed that we all possess inner resources that can help us overcome challenges, achieve our goals, and live a fulfilling life. However, these powers often remain untapped because we either don't realize they exist or we lack the confidence to use them. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastering yourself means understanding and utilizing these latent powers to their fullest extent. Latent powers are the skills, talents, and abilities that you may not be fully aware of or that you haven't yet developed. These powers aren't necessarily physical. Often they are mental, emotional, or even spiritual in nature. They include things like resilience, creativity, emotional intelligence, and inner strength. Many of us go through life without ever tapping into these resources because we are either focused on external success or too caught up in our daily struggles to notice the potential we carry within. Imagine a situation where you're facing a significant challenge. Perhaps it's a major setback at work, a difficult relationship, or a personal crisis. In these moments, it's easy to feel powerless or overwhelmed. But according to the Stoics, it's precisely in these moments that your latent powers come into play. When life throws you obstacles, you have a choice. You can either let the challenge defeat you, or you can dig deep and discover the inner strength you didn't know you had. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the very challenges we face are the key to unlocking our latent powers. They force us to grow, adapt, and strengthen our inner resources. One of the reasons many people fail to tap into their latent powers is because they are too focused on their limitations. They tell themselves stories like, "I'm not strong enough," or "I can't handle this." These self-limiting beliefs keep us stuck in a narrow view of our capabilities. But the Stoics teach us to challenge these limiting beliefs and to recognize that we are often much stronger, smarter, and more capable than we think. Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult." This powerful reminder urges us to push beyond our self-imposed limitations and to embrace the full extent of our potential. Take, for example, a person who is struggling with a long-term goal. Let's say they want to write a book, start a business, or run a marathon. At first, the task seems overwhelming. They might doubt their abilities or worry that they don't have what it takes to succeed. But as they start making small steps toward their goal, they begin to uncover strengths they didn't realize they had. They find discipline they didn't know they possessed, resilience in the face of setbacks, and creativity when faced with challenges. These latent powers, once hidden, start to come to the surface through the process of effort and persistence. The Stoics believed that everyone has the capacity to access these inner resources. However, it requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to face challenges head-on and to trust in your own abilities. One way to begin tapping into your latent powers is through the practice of self-reflection. Take time to reflect on your past experiences, particularly the times when you faced adversity. What strengths did you rely on during those difficult moments? What inner resources helped you overcome challenges? By identifying the qualities that have served you in the past, you can start to recognize the latent powers that you can continue to develop in the future. In addition to self-reflection, self-discipline is a key factor in accessing latent powers. The Stoics emphasized the importance of discipline in all aspects of life, whether it's in your work, your relationships, or your personal development. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This quote speaks to the idea that growth and success often require us to step outside of our comfort zones, to try new things, and to risk failure. When you are disciplined and consistent in your efforts, you begin to unlock the latent powers that allow you to reach higher levels of achievement. Another crucial element in developing your latent powers is self-belief. If you don't believe in your own potential, you will never fully tap into it. The Stoics taught that self-belief is not about arrogance or overconfidence. It's about having a deep inner conviction that you are capable of handling whatever life throws your way. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This Stoic teaching reminds us that our true power lies in how we control our thoughts and perceptions. When you believe in your own strength, you unlock the potential that was previously hidden from view. In relationships, recognizing your latent powers can help you become a more supportive and compassionate friend, partner, or family member. When you trust in your own abilities, you are better equipped to handle conflicts, provide emotional support, and maintain healthy boundaries. Latent powers, like emotional intelligence and empathy, are essential for building strong, meaningful relationships. By tapping into these inner resources, you not only improve your own life, but also positively impact the lives of those around you. In conclusion, Lesson 4. Latent powers teaches us that we all possess hidden strengths and potential, but it's up to us to uncover and develop them. The Stoics remind us that these powers are often revealed through challenges and adversity. By practicing self-discipline, self-reflection, and self-belief, you can tap into the latent powers that will help you achieve true success. As Seneca said, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." The quality of your life is determined by how well you use the powers you possess, so don't let them go to waste. Lesson 5. Soul Force. The fifth lesson in achieving success through Stoic principles revolves around the concept of soul force. This is not a term frequently used in daily life, but for the Stoics, it is the inner power and moral strength that drives a person to live with integrity, courage, and purpose. Soul force is about tapping into the deep well of energy and conviction that allows you to stand firm in your values, even in the face of adversity. Marcus Aurelius described it as the force that comes from within, the kind of strength that enables you to stay true to yourself and do what is right, no matter the challenges you face. Soul force can be thought of as your moral compass combined with your inner determination. It's the power that keeps you on the right path when external pressures, temptations, or difficulties try to pull you off course. Imagine someone who remains steadfast in their principles even when it's difficult or unpopular to do so. This person is exhibiting soul force. They are drawing upon their inner strength to uphold their values and continue moving forward, even when it seems easier to give in to external pressures or take shortcuts. Epictetus taught that soul force is about aligning your actions with your deepest convictions. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you have soul force, you are not swayed by the opinions or actions of others. Instead, you act in accordance with your values, with a sense of purpose that transcends the immediate situation. This internal drive allows you to stay grounded, even when life's circumstances become chaotic or unpredictable. For example, imagine you are in a situation at work where you are asked to do something that goes against your ethical beliefs. Perhaps your boss pressures you to manipulate numbers or make a decision that benefits the company but harms others. It would be easy to justify going along with it. After all, you might rationalize, "Everyone else is doing it," or "It's just part of the job." But if you have developed soul force, you will stand firm in your principles and say no. You will refuse to compromise your integrity, even if it means facing difficult consequences. This is the power of soul force. It gives you the courage to make tough decisions and stay true to yourself, regardless of external pressures. In the context of Stoicism, soul force is not just about having strong moral convictions. It's also about having the resilience and inner strength to keep going when times get tough. It's easy to stay true to your values when everything is going well, but the real test comes when you are faced with challenges, obstacles, or setbacks. Soul Force gives you the determination to keep pushing forward, even when the odds are against you. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote encapsulates the essence of Soul Force, the realization that true strength comes from within, not from external circumstances. For the Stoics, living a life of virtue and purpose requires Soul Force. This force helps you navigate life's difficulties with grace. Maintain your focus on what truly matters and avoid being swept up by fleeting desires or external pressures. Seneca taught that true success comes not from external achievements, but from living in alignment with your values and acting with integrity in all situations. He said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." When you develop Soul Force, you are constantly preparing yourself for life's challenges so that when opportunity arises or when difficulty strikes, you are ready to face it with courage and determination. One of the best ways to cultivate Soul Force is by practicing self-discipline. Discipline, as the Stoics often reminded us, is the foundation of all inner strength. By consistently practicing self-control, whether in small daily actions or major life decisions, you strengthen your ability to act with integrity in the face of temptation or adversity. Self-discipline builds the foundation for Soul Force because it trains your mind and body to stay focused on what truly matters, rather than being swayed by distractions, desires, or external pressures. Another way to develop Soul Force is by reflecting on your values and purpose regularly. The Stoics encouraged the practice of daily reflection, taking time at the beginning or end of each day to assess whether your actions were in line with your values. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This practice of self-reflection helps you stay grounded in your purpose, reminding you of the bigger picture and helping you cultivate the inner strength to remain true to your values. In relationships, Soul Force plays a critical role. When you interact with others, whether in friendships, family, or romantic relationships, staying true to yourself and maintaining your integrity builds trust and respect. Soul Force allows you to set healthy boundaries, avoid being manipulated, and engage in relationships that are built on mutual respect and authenticity. Instead of being reactive to others' emotions or demands, you respond from a place of inner strength, ensuring that your actions are aligned with your true self. In conclusion, Lesson 5. Soul Force teaches us that success isn't just about achieving external goals. It's about cultivating the inner strength and moral conviction to stay true to ourselves in every situation. The Stoics remind us that this inner force is something we can develop through self-discipline, reflection, and a deep commitment to living in alignment with our values. Soul Force gives us the courage to face life's challenges head-on and the resilience to keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the essence of Soul Force, transforming obstacles into opportunities through the strength of our inner resolve. Lesson 6. The Power of Desire. The sixth lesson in achieving success through Stoic principles focuses on the power of desire. For the Stoics, desire is a double-edged sword. It has the potential to drive us toward greatness, but it can also become a source of suffering if we are not careful. The key is to harness the power of desire in a way that aligns with our values and leads to positive action, rather than letting it control us. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." This quote reflects the Stoic understanding of desire. True freedom comes not from getting everything we want, but from mastering our desires and focusing on what is within our control. In many ways, desire is what propels us forward in life. It's the spark that ignites our ambition and motivates us to set and achieve goals. Whether it's the desire for success in our careers, meaningful relationships, or personal growth, desire can be a powerful force for good. However, when desire is left unchecked or misaligned with our values, it can lead to frustration, dissatisfaction, and even misery. The Stoics understood this well, which is why they taught the importance of controlling and directing desire in a productive way. One of the most common traps people fall into is the endless pursuit of external desires. More money, more recognition, more possessions. The problem with these desires is that they are often insatiable. Once you achieve one external goal, there's always something else to strive for, and the cycle continues. This is why Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." In other words, constantly chasing after external desires leaves you feeling unfulfilled because you are always focused on what you don't have, rather than appreciating what you do have. The Stoics believed that the best way to harness the power of desire is by aligning it with virtuous action. Instead of focusing on accumulating wealth, status, or possessions, the Stoics encourage us to desire things that are within our control, things like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. These are the desires that lead to true fulfillment because they are based on qualities that cannot be taken away from you. Epictetus taught that the only desires worth pursuing are those that lead to moral excellence and personal growth. Consider the example of someone who desires to build a successful career. If their desire is purely for external rewards, like a higher salary or recognition, they may find themselves constantly dissatisfied, always chasing after the next promotion or raise. However, if their desire is rooted in a commitment to doing meaningful work, serving others, and developing their skills, they are more likely to find long-term fulfillment. Their desire is aligned with virtuous action, and as a result, they can experience a deeper sense of purpose and satisfaction in their work. The Stoics also warn us about the dangers of becoming too attached to our desires. When we become overly attached to achieving specific outcomes, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration if things don't go as planned. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This teaching reminds us that while we can control our efforts, we cannot always control the results. By learning to detach from the outcomes of our desires and focusing instead on the process, we can free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. To harness the power of desire in a way that leads to success, it's important to regularly reflect on what you truly want and why. Ask yourself, is this desire aligned with my values? Will pursuing this desire make me a better person? Is this something I can control, or am I focusing on an outcome that is beyond my control? These questions help you clarify your intentions and ensure that your desires are leading you in the right direction. Another way to manage desire is through the Stoic practice of negative visualization. This involves imagining what life would be like if you lost the things you currently have: your job, your health, your relationships. While this might seem pessimistic, it's actually a way to remind yourself to appreciate the present moment and to avoid taking things for granted. When you practice negative visualization, you start to see that many of your desires are based on fears or insecurities about losing what you already have. By confronting these fears head-on, you can reduce their power over you and focus on what truly matters. In relationships, desire can sometimes become a source of conflict or tension, especially if we become too attached to specific outcomes. For example, if you desire a certain level of attention or validation from a partner, you may feel frustrated or disappointed if they don't meet your expectations. The Stoics teach us that true love and connection come from accepting others as they are and letting go of the desire to control or change them. When you align your desires with respect, kindness, and understanding, you create healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Ultimately, the power of desire is about recognizing that not all desires are created equal. Some desires lead to growth, fulfillment, and virtuous action, while others lead to frustration and suffering. By learning to control and direct your desires in a way that aligns with your values, you can unlock the true potential of desire as a force for positive change in your life. In conclusion, Lesson 6. The power of desire teaches us that desire is a powerful motivator, but it must be harnessed carefully. The Stoics remind us to align our desires with virtuous action and to avoid becoming attached to outcomes that are beyond our control. By focusing on what truly matters, wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, you can use the power of desire to propel you toward a life of purpose and fulfillment. As Seneca wisely said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Lesson 7. The Law of Attraction. The seventh lesson in achieving success through Stoic principles explores the law of attraction, a concept that is not only rooted in modern self-help movements, but also aligns with ancient Stoic wisdom. The law of attraction suggests that our thoughts and intentions can influence the world around us, that what we focus on mentally and emotionally tends to manifest in our lives. While the Stoics didn't describe this law in the same way, they believed in the power of thoughts and mindset to shape our reality. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts," highlighting the Stoic belief that the way we think directly affects the way we experience life. For the Stoics, the power of attraction wasn't about magical thinking or wishful desires. Instead, it was grounded in the idea that our thoughts and attitudes determine our actions, and our actions shape the outcomes we experience. If you focus your mind on virtuous actions, discipline, and purposeful living, you're more likely to attract success, fulfillment, and meaningful relationships into your life. Conversely, if your thoughts are filled with negativity, fear, and doubt, you may find that your actions become self-sabotaging, leading to undesirable results. In many ways, the law of attraction mirrors the Stoic idea of prohairesis, the concept of free will or moral choice. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control external events, we have full control over how we respond to those events. By cultivating a mindset that focuses on what's within our control, our actions, reactions, and character, we attract more positive outcomes into our lives because we are better equipped to handle challenges with resilience and clarity. Consider someone who approaches life with a mindset of gratitude and possibility. They are likely to see opportunities where others see obstacles and their positive outlook influences their actions in a way that opens doors for them. This person may not have more luck than anyone else, but their attitude allows them to make the most of the situations they encounter. The law of attraction, when viewed through a Stoic lens, is about shaping your reality through the consistent practice of positive, intentional thinking, combined with virtuous action. One of the key teachings of the Stoics is the idea that you attract into your life the things you give attention to. If you are constantly focused on negative thoughts, such as fear of failure, resentment toward others, or anxiety about the future, you're likely to see those feelings reflected in your experiences. Epictetus taught that the way we interpret events, rather than the events themselves, determines how we feel and what we attract into our lives. He said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." Let's take an example of two people facing the same situation. Let's say they both lose their jobs. One person may spiral into despair, focusing on feelings of inadequacy, fear of financial insecurity, and anger at their employer. Their negative mindset not only makes the situation worse emotionally, but it also affects how they handle it practically. They might procrastinate on finding new work, or they might approach interviews with low confidence. The other person, however, may see this event as an opportunity for growth. They might use the extra time to learn new skills or reflect on what career path would bring them more fulfillment. Their mindset of resilience and optimism opens them up to new possibilities, and they are more likely to attract positive outcomes because they approach the situation with a sense of purpose and control. In relationships, the law of attraction can be seen in the way we attract the energy we put out into the world. If you approach relationships with a mindset of kindness, understanding, and respect, you are more likely to form meaningful, positive connections with others. On the other hand, if you approach relationships with a mindset of suspicion, jealousy, or selfishness, you may attract people who mirror those negative traits, leading to dysfunctional dynamics. Marcus Aurelius advised, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By cultivating thoughts that reflect the kind of relationships and experiences you want, you create the conditions for those things to manifest in your life. One way to actively apply the law of attraction through a Stoic lens is by practicing intentional gratitude. The Stoics placed great value on appreciating the present moment and recognizing the good things in your life, no matter how small. Seneca said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." When you focus on gratitude, you begin to see more opportunities for joy and fulfillment in your everyday experiences. This shift in focus not only improves your mental state, but also affects how you interact with the world, attracting more positivity into your life. Another key aspect of the law of attraction is visualization, which aligns with the Stoic practice of mental preparation. The Stoics encouraged visualizing potential challenges or hardships, a practice known as premeditatio malorum, to prepare themselves mentally for whatever might happen. While this may seem like the opposite of attracting positive outcomes, it actually serves to strengthen resilience and confidence. By imagining how you would handle difficult situations with grace and composure, you train your mind to respond effectively when those challenges arise. This, in turn, creates a mindset of empowerment, where you are less likely to be shaken by unexpected difficulties. The law of attraction also emphasizes the importance of action. It's not enough to simply think positive thoughts. You must take consistent, intentional steps toward your goals. The Stoics were firm believers in the power of action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. This quote reminds us that our thoughts are only as powerful as the actions they inspire. If you want to attract success, fulfillment, or meaningful relationships into your life, you must pair your mindset with purposeful action. In conclusion, Lesson 7. The law of attraction teaches us that our thoughts, attitudes, and intentions have a profound influence on the world around us. The Stoics remind us that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we think about them. And this, in turn, shapes our reality. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude, resilience, and purposeful action, you can attract more positivity and success into your life. As Epictetus said, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Surround yourself with positive influences, both in your thoughts and in your actions, and watch how your life begins to reflect the energy you put out into the world. Lesson 8. The role of persistence. The 8th lesson in the journey to success, according to Stoic philosophy, is all about the role of persistence. Persistence is the ability to stay committed to your goals even when things get tough. It's the determination to push through obstacles, setbacks, and challenges without losing sight of your end goal. For the Stoics, persistence wasn't just a trait you were born with. It was a skill that could be cultivated through practice and discipline. Seneca once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This highlights the importance of persistence, daring to keep going, even when the road ahead seems daunting. Persistence is often the difference between success and failure. While many people give up when they encounter resistance or difficulty, those who persist are the ones who ultimately achieve their goals. The Stoics understood that life is full of challenges, but they believed that these challenges were opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This quote perfectly encapsulates the Stoic view of persistence. Obstacles are not meant to stop us, but to help us grow stronger. By facing challenges head-on and refusing to give up, we transform adversity into opportunity. Let's consider an example. Imagine you've set a goal to start a business. At first, everything seems to be going well. You're full of ideas, motivated, and ready to make it happen. But then, as you move forward, you start encountering obstacles. Maybe you struggle to secure funding, face unexpected competition, or deal with the stress of managing everything on your own. At this point, many people would feel overwhelmed and consider giving up. But the Stoic approach to persistence is to see these obstacles as part of the process. The Stoics teach us that difficulties are inevitable, but they are not reasons to quit. They are reasons to push harder. One of the most important aspects of persistence is the ability to maintain a long-term perspective. The Stoics believed in focusing on the bigger picture rather than getting caught up in short-term frustrations or setbacks. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen." This quote reminds us that success doesn't happen overnight. Just like a fruit needs time to grow and ripen, your goals require time, effort, and persistence to come to fruition. In the modern world, we often expect quick results, instant success, immediate recognition, or fast progress. But the Stoics understood that real, lasting success takes time and requires patience. The process of working toward your goals may be slow and filled with obstacles, but each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Seneca emphasized this point when he said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Persistence is about staying prepared and committed, so that when opportunities arise, you are ready to seize them." Another key aspect of persistence is resilience, the ability to bounce back after failure or setbacks. The Stoics believed that failure was not something to fear, but something to learn from. Every time you fail, you have the opportunity to gain new insights, improve your strategy, and become stronger. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." This means that instead of becoming discouraged or bitter when things don't go your way, you should rise above the situation, learn from it, and continue moving forward. Persistence is about staying focused on your long-term goals, even when things don't go as planned. In relationships, persistence is equally important. Building strong, meaningful relationships requires time, effort, and patience. There will be moments of disagreement, conflict, or misunderstanding, but the ability to persist, to work through difficulties rather than give up, can lead to deeper, more fulfilling connections. The Stoics believed that relationships, like any other worthwhile pursuit, require persistence and resilience. Seneca said, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." This quote highlights the importance of having a clear direction in your relationships and staying committed to working through challenges together. One practical way to develop persistence is by setting small, achievable goals that lead you toward your larger objectives. Break your long-term goals into smaller steps and celebrate each victory along the way. By focusing on small, consistent progress, you build the mental strength and resilience needed to keep going, even when the journey feels difficult. Epictetus taught that persistence requires self-discipline and a strong sense of purpose. He said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." By clarifying your goals and staying disciplined in your actions, you strengthen your ability to persist, even when things get tough. It's also important to surround yourself with people who encourage and support your persistence. The Stoics understood the value of community and believed that being around like-minded individuals can help you stay motivated. When you're faced with challenges, having a support system can make all the difference in maintaining your determination. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." This quote speaks to the power of mindset and the importance of choosing how you interpret and respond to challenges. By adopting a mindset of persistence, you choose to see obstacles as opportunities rather than setbacks. In conclusion, Lesson 8. The role of persistence teaches us that success is not achieved through talent or luck alone. It's the result of consistent, determined effort over time. The Stoics remind us that persistence is a skill that can be developed through patience, resilience, and a long-term perspective. By embracing challenges, learning from failures, and staying focused on your goals, you cultivate the persistence needed to achieve true, lasting success. As Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Every obstacle you overcome is an opportunity to strengthen your mind and build the persistence that will carry you forward on your path to success. Lesson 9. Mental focus and visualization. The 9th lesson in mastering success through Stoic principles centers on mental focus and visualization. The Stoics believed that the way we direct our minds and the clarity with which we visualize our goals and challenges can significantly influence the outcomes we achieve. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote encapsulates the Stoic belief that mental focus is one of the most powerful tools we have in shaping our lives. By mastering your thoughts and using visualization effectively, you can create the mental framework necessary to achieve success, no matter the obstacles in your path. Mental focus is about maintaining a disciplined mind, one that is free from distractions and fully concentrated on the task at hand. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, endless notifications, competing responsibilities. It's easy to become overwhelmed and lose sight of your goals. The Stoics understood that success requires focus, and that means consciously directing your attention to what truly matters, rather than letting your mind wander. Epictetus said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This highlights the importance of developing mental focus through consistent practice, focusing on your goals, your values, and the actions that align with them. One of the practical ways to develop mental focus is by practicing mindfulness. The Stoics didn't use the term mindfulness the way we do today, but they were firm believers in staying present and aware of their thoughts. Seneca wrote about the importance of being mindful of the present moment, advising, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." By staying present and fully engaged with the moment, you train your mind to avoid distractions and focus on what truly matters. When you cultivate this kind of mental focus, you are able to channel your energy into productive actions that move you closer to your goals. Visualization is another key element of Stoic success. The Stoics practiced a technique known as premeditatio malorum, the visualization of worst-case scenarios as a way to mentally prepare for potential challenges. This practice was not meant to dwell on negativity, but rather to build mental resilience. By visualizing the challenges and obstacles you might face, you train your mind to respond with calm and clarity when they arise. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "Don't let your imagination be crushed by life as a whole. Don't try to picture everything bad that could happen. Stick with the situation at hand and ask, why is this so unbearable?" This practice of mental rehearsal helps you stay focused and grounded, no matter what life throws your way. Visualization, in the Stoic sense, isn't just about preparing for challenges. It's also about imagining success. When you visualize yourself achieving your goals, you build the mental confidence necessary to make those visions a reality. Picture yourself succeeding, whether that's in your career, in a personal project, or in relationships. Visualizing the process and outcome gives you a mental roadmap to follow, helping you stay focused and motivated along the way. Visualization is a tool that enhances your mental focus by keeping your mind aligned with your goals. Imagine you are preparing for an important presentation or project at work. You can use Stoic visualization techniques to mentally rehearse the situation. Picture yourself walking into the room, delivering your presentation with confidence, and handling any questions or challenges that come your way. By visualizing the process, you're mentally preparing for the experience, which reduces anxiety and increases your ability to stay focused when the actual event takes place. Epictetus advised, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This is a clear call to action. Visualize what you want, and then take the necessary steps to make it happen. Mental focus and visualization also play a crucial role in how we approach our daily lives. Marcus Aurelius encouraged the practice of starting each day with intentional focus, writing, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This daily practice of gratitude and reflection allows you to set the tone for the day, keeping your mind focused on what truly matters. Instead of letting distractions control your day, you start with a clear intention and a focused mindset, ready to face whatever comes your way. In relationships, mental focus and visualization can help you maintain emotional balance and clarity. When you encounter conflict or disagreement, mental focus allows you to stay grounded in the present moment, rather than letting your emotions take over. Visualization can help you prepare for difficult conversations by imagining how you want to respond, what outcome you're aiming for, and how you can maintain calm and compassion throughout the interaction. By mentally rehearsing these situations, you are better equipped to handle them with grace and understanding. Another important aspect of mental focus is recognizing and eliminating distractions that pull you away from your goals. The Stoics were big proponents of simplicity and focus, believing that distractions, whether they are material or mental, can lead to unnecessary suffering. Seneca warned against getting caught up in trivial matters, writing, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." By reducing distractions and staying focused on what truly matters, you increase your ability to achieve meaningful success. In conclusion, Lesson 9. Mental focus and visualization teaches us that success begins in the mind. The Stoics remind us that our thoughts shape our reality, and by cultivating mental focus and practicing visualization, we can create the conditions for success. Whether you're visualizing potential challenges or imagining your future achievements, this practice helps you stay grounded, motivated, and resilient. By focusing on what truly matters and eliminating distractions, you unlock the mental clarity needed to reach your goals. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." So, focus your mind on what you want to achieve and watch as your thoughts lead you to success. Lesson 10. Self-belief and confidence. The final lesson in unlocking the secret to success through Stoicism is centered around self-belief and confidence. The Stoics understood that true confidence doesn't come from external validation or fleeting achievements. It comes from within. Self-belief is about having faith in your ability to navigate life's challenges and achieve your goals, regardless of what others think or external circumstances. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This teaching highlights the importance of having a clear sense of who you are and what you're capable of before setting out to achieve anything. Self-belief is often the cornerstone of success. Without it, even the best-laid plans can fall apart because doubt and insecurity can sabotage your efforts. The Stoics believed that self-belief is not about arrogance or thinking you are better than others. Rather, it is about recognizing your inherent worth and abilities and trusting yourself to handle whatever comes your way. Confidence in the Stoic sense is rooted in humility and self-awareness. It's knowing that you have the inner strength to face challenges, but also the wisdom to continue learning and growing along the way. One of the biggest obstacles to self-belief is comparison. In today's world, where social media and external validation dominate, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others, whether it's their success, appearance, or achievements. But Marcus Aurelius warned against this, writing, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do, only what you do." This is a powerful reminder that your self-worth should not be measured by how you stack up against others. Instead, focus on your own actions, growth, and integrity. True confidence comes from knowing that you are doing your best, regardless of external opinions or comparisons. Stoic self-belief is built on the foundation of understanding what is within your control and what is not. Confidence arises when you know that you have control over your thoughts, actions, and responses to life's challenges. When you focus on what you can control, your effort, your discipline, and your mindset, you begin to build the kind of self-belief that isn't easily shaken. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." This teaches us that bravery, rooted in self-belief, leads to true freedom, the freedom to live authentically and pursue your goals without fear of failure or judgment. Consider someone who is about to embark on a major life change. Maybe they're starting a new business, moving to a new city, or beginning a new relationship. Self-belief is crucial in these moments of transition. Without confidence, it's easy to second-guess yourself, question your decisions, and fear the unknown. But when you trust in your abilities and your resilience, you can move forward with courage, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. This kind of confidence doesn't guarantee that everything will go perfectly, but it ensures that you won't give up when challenges arise. For the Stoics, self-belief wasn't just about believing in your abilities, it was about believing in your capacity to grow and improve. Epictetus said, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." This quote emphasizes the idea that most of our fears and doubts are self-created, and that by shifting our mindset, we can overcome these internal obstacles. When you believe in your ability to learn from failure, adapt to new situations, and improve over time, you cultivate a kind of confidence that is unshakable. In relationships, self-belief plays an important role in maintaining healthy dynamics. Confidence allows you to set boundaries, communicate effectively, and avoid the trap of seeking validation from others. When you believe in yourself, you don't need constant reassurance from your partner, friends, or family. You're able to engage in relationships from a place of strength rather than insecurity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This means that by cultivating self-belief and maintaining a positive mindset, you create the foundation for happiness and fulfillment in your relationships and in life. Self-belief also involves letting go of the fear of failure. The Stoics believed that failure is not something to be feared. It is a natural part of the learning process. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." This means that failure, challenges, and mistakes are necessary for growth. When you embrace failure as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock, your confidence grows because you know that no matter what happens, you will find a way to move forward and improve. To build self-belief, one of the most effective tools is reflection. The Stoics were big proponents of self-reflection, encouraging daily contemplation of one's actions, thoughts, and progress. By taking time each day to reflect on your achievements, areas for growth, and how you handle challenges, you strengthen your self-awareness and confidence. Epictetus advised, "Make it your study then to live well, and let death find you learning still." This quote reminds us that life is a continuous process of growth, and the more we focus on learning and improving, the stronger our self-belief becomes. Another important element of self-belief is staying true to your values. The Stoics believed that living in alignment with your values is the key to confidence. When your actions reflect your core principles, you naturally feel more grounded and secure in yourself. On the other hand, when you compromise your values to fit in or gain approval, you undermine your own confidence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This is a powerful reminder that self-belief comes from living with integrity. When your actions align with your beliefs, your confidence grows naturally. In conclusion, Lesson 10. Self-belief and confidence teaches us that success begins with believing in yourself. The Stoics remind us that true confidence comes from within, not from external validation or comparison. By focusing on what you can control, embracing failure as part of the process, and staying true to your values, you can build unshakable self-belief. This self-belief is the foundation for achieving your goals, overcoming obstacles, and living a life of purpose and fulfillment. As Seneca wisely said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Confidence is not a destination. It's a lifelong practice of growth, learning, and self-trust. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope these Stoic lessons have given you new insights and practical tools to unlock the secret of success in your life. Remember, success isn't just about what we achieve on the outside. It's about how we master our inner world, face challenges with resilience, and stay true to our values. Whether it's through persistence, mental focus, or building unshakable self-belief, the path to success is one of continuous growth and self-discovery. The Stoics remind us that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can always control how we respond, and that's where true strength lies. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Saga for more wisdom and strategies to help you live a more grounded and empowered life. Feel free to share this episode with anyone who might benefit from these lessons today. Until next time, stay strong, stay resilient, and keep embracing the Stoic way of life.